Liverpool target decides to stay at club despite agreed deal. As ambitions not match at a reported Liverpool target has chosen to remain at Lyon this summer, even though Nottingham Forest previously had an offer accepted. According to fresh updates, the Reds have been the Premier League's biggest spenders this window, investing almost £300 million on 8 senior arrivals. That figure included a record-breaking £100 million move for Florian Wirtz, despite already bringing in Hugo Ekitike for £69 million earlier in the summer. Liverpool are still chasing Newcastle United forward. Alexander Isak.Arnslot's side saw their opening 110 meters approach turned down, with the Swedish striker continuing to train alone after making it clear to Newcastle Chiefs that he wants out. So far, Liverpool have not returned with an improved bid for the 24-year-old, who the Magpies value at £150 million. Isak remains determined to force a transfer to Anfield, while Newcastle are equally intent on holding firm. On Monday, co-owner Jamie Rubin, who was in attendance for Liverpool's 3-2 victory at St James Park later that evening, sat down with Isak in an attempt to change his mind. Reports indicate those talks failed, with the Telegraph's Luke Edwards noting that Isak's wish to leave has not shifted. With the transfer deadline looming, it is unclear if Liverpool will return with another proposal. However, one long-standing target is now off the table. Belgian journalist Sacha Tavaliri revealed that Lyon winger Malik Fofana has opted to stay put, despite months of speculation linking him with Anfield. Tavaliri wrote on X, "Malik Fofana has decided to remain at Olympique Lyonnais. He didn't find a project that truly fits his ambitions and will instead wait for a future window." Fofana was on the radar of several Premier League clubs, with Forest even having a bid accepted back in July. Fabrizio Romano reported at the time that while Lyon agreed terms with the club, the player never reached a personal agreement. Forest then pivoted and completed a £35 million deal for Switzerland striker Dan Doy. Meanwhile, Liverpool continue to weigh up signing another centre-back after snapping up Italian prodigy Giovanni Leone. The Isak saga, though, remains the headline story. The Swedish forward finally broke his silence last week after months of speculation, issuing a pointed statement. "I stayed quiet for a long time, while others pushed their own versions of events. The truth is promises were made, and the club has long known my stance. To act as if these problems have only just come up is misleading. Once trust is broken, the relationship can't continue. That's why I believe change is in the best interest of everyone." The standoff escalated further this week, as Newcastle's majority shareholders PIF, including chairman Yasser Al-Rumayyan and co-owner Rubin, met with Isak ahead of the clash with Liverpool. The Daily Mail claimed they tried to persuade him to drop his protest and even hinted at a lucrative new contract. But reports from the Chronicle and the Telegraph insist the talks backfired. Isak doubled down, reaffirming his desire to head to Anfield. He remains on strike and is set to miss this weekend's game against Leeds, having already sat out fixtures against Aston Villa and Liverpool. Craig Hope, Fabrizio Romano, and other respected reporters have confirmed that Isak will continue to push until either his dream move is completed or the window shuts. The ball is now in Liverpool's court. Their initial £110 million bid was rejected outright, with Newcastle holding out for around £150 million, while the Reds are unlikely to hit that figure. The Telegraph suggests they may return with a British record offer if they sense Newcastle's board are open to dialogue. Ultimately, Isak's exit will depend not only on Liverpool's next move, but also on whether Newcastle can secure a replacement in time. Talk Sports single quotes us. Alex Crook added, "I still expect Liverpool to lodge another bid, possibly a British record, before Monday's deadline. They want to really test Newcastle's resolve, and Newcastle are actively assessing striker options in the meantime." Newcastle United have reportedly made a decisive move regarding Alexander Isak's future. Despite growing pressure from Liverpool to sign the Swedish striker, the Magpies face Liverpool at St James Park on Monday night, but Eddie House men will once again be without Isak, who has now missed back-to-back league matches after being excluded from first-team training. The forward has openly demanded to leave Tyneside, accusing the club of breaking promises in a strongly worded statement last week. According to Craig Hope of the Daily Mail, Newcastle co-owner Jamie Rubin and director Jacobo Solis recently visited Isak at his home to hold urgent talks over his situation. It is believed the club have told him they would be willing to open negotiations over an improved contract if he fully commits to the team this season. Isak's current deal runs until 2028, and speculation around a renewal has lingered since last summer. At the time, discussions over fresh terms were expected, but the matter was shelved. with then Sporting director Paul Mitchell reportedly choosing not to push ahead. Isak makes his position clear despite Newcastle's attempts to calm the situation. Isak has made it abundantly clear he wants to leave. In a statement on Instagram, the 25-year-old said, "I've stayed quiet for too long while others created their own version of events. Promises were made to me, and the club has known my stance for months. To now act like these issues are new is simply misleading. Once trust is broken, the relationship cannot continue." Just days after rejecting Liverpool's £110 million bid, which would have set a new British transfer record, Newcastle's hierarchy tried to reassure Isak, but he remains firm in his desire to move to Anfield before the transfer deadline. The Telegraph reports that Isak is determined to continue his strike until a deal is agreed, having already refused to feature against Aston Villa and Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp's successors at Anfield are said to be preparing a second approach, though sources suggest the Reds will not go anywhere near Newcastle's £150 million valuation. Newcastle respond to Isak's accusations. In response to Isak's claims about broken promises, Newcastle issued a strong statement. "Alex is under contract, and no club official has ever guaranteed that he could leave this summer. While we value the views of our players, our responsibility is always to Newcastle United, our supporters and the team. The conditions for a sale have not been met, and we do not expect that to change." The club also reiterated that Isak remains part of the family and will be welcomed back once he is ready to return to training. Liverpool fans spot transfer clue. Meanwhile, Liverpool fans believe they noticed a telling hint in the club's recent Adidas kit launch. Several stars, including Virgil van Dijk, Jamie Carragher, Sir Kenny Dalglish and Sarri Holland, were featured in the promotional campaign, but Darwin Núñez was conspicuously absent. Supporters speculated the omission was deliberate amid rumors over his future, and those suspicions have now been confirmed. The Uruguayan striker is set to join Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal in a deal worth €53 million, £46.3 million, signing a 3-year contract. LFC unveiled 2025-26 home kit. Liverpool also recently unveiled their new Adidas home shirt for the 2025-26 season. The design is a classic all-red with 3 white stripes down the sleeves and a crewneck collar. A special 97 emblem encircled by eternal flames features on the back of the neck as a tribute. The kit is now available for purchase through LFC's official online store, retail app, and in club shops across the UK and abroad. Liverpool supporters have urged one of the club's senior players to depart before the transfer window closes, despite their thrilling 3-2 victory over Newcastle United at St James Park. Teen sensation Rio Ngumoa, just days away from turning 17, stole the headlines by netting a dramatic late winner for Arne Slot's men against the 10-man Magpies. Earlier in the game, Ryan Gravenberch and summer signing Hugo Ekitike struck in the first half to give Liverpool a commanding lead. Newcastle's evening turned even more difficult when Anthony Gordon was dismissed, yet Eddie Howe's side kept pressing. Bruno Guimaraes pulled one back in the 58th minute, and with just 2 minutes of normal time left, substitute William Osula grabbed an equalizer, his second-ever Premier League goal. But it was Ngumoa who ultimately sealed an unforgettable night, scoring deep into the match to secure all 3 points and maintain Liverpool's perfect start to the campaign. The clash will be